Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today, being December 1st, we're going to do something that I found quite interesting. It got brought to my attention a few years ago, and I looked into them a little bit, but didn't pay it much mind. And then last year, I had really wanted to do something to incorporate this myth into my holiday, and it didn't really work. And then, of course, we all know how 2020 went. Anyway, today we are going to be discussing Krampus, or Krampus, depending on how you pronounce it. Actually, the people who watch it, if y'all want to leave a comment in the bottom after the video and let me know how you pronounce it. Krampus with a U or Krampus with an A. Be really cool to see how everybody pronounces it. Anyway, Krampus. Who is he? Or better yet, what is he? He is believed to be the monster that punishes misbehaving children at Christmas time. He is the devilish companion of St. Nicholas. Krampus himself historically comes around the night of December 5th. 4 more nights. It is traditionally called Krampus Night, tagging along with St. Nicholas. He visits homes all night with St. Nick, while jolly old St. Nick is on hand to put candy in the shoes of good kids and birch twigs in the shoes of bad. Krampus' particular specialty, however, is punishing naughty children. Legend has it that throughout the Christmas season, misbehaved kids are beaten with birch branches or can even disappear, stuffed into Krampus' sack and hauled off to his lair to be tortured or eaten. Krampus in the corner sounds a lot better than Elf on the Shelf, if you ask me. On December 6th, which is known as St. Nick's Day, or St. Nicholas's Day, children would wake to either find presents for being good, or they would wake to nurse their bruises. It was a bit tough to find an origin of Krampus, or even a close exact year or anything, a time frame. But I found several that mentioned him being quite old, several thousand years. And then I found one in Germanic folklore as early as the 1600s. They say his name is derived from the German word Krampen, which means claw. But the one that intrigued me the most, which you'll understand if you know me, is during the 12th century, the Catholic Church attempted to banish Krampus celebrations because of his resemblance to the devil. Now, the 12th century, that's a while back, so we know he was at least around that long. More eradication attempts followed in 1934 at the hands of Austria's conservative Christian Social Party, but none of it held, and Krampus emerged as a much feared and beloved holiday force. It was a bit interesting to read this theory on where Krampus came from. This one I really liked. Unfortunately, at the ending you'll see I don't think it's probably legit, but I had to add it because it would make sense. It was said Krampus' roots have nothing to do with Christmas. Instead, they date back to pre-Germanic paganism in the region. The tradition has it that he is the son of the Norse god of the underworld, Hel. Hel being the Norse goddess, technically. However, this connection is likely the invention of the American fantasy artist and author Gerald Broom, whose 2012 novel Krampus the Yule Lord features Krampus as the leading character. Now, there's a movie that came out a few years ago, which I will show y'all a picture from it in a bit, that I think is this movie, but being I have not watched it, I'm not sure. But the movie did bring a lot of awareness to this mythical creature. Anyway, the same idea also appears shortly afterwards in 2 online games by the Norwegian game producer Funcom. All in all, the origins of Krampus is mostly unknown, but most anthropologists do agree that the tradition is pre-Christian, going back to pagan mythology. Are we really that surprised? One authority on the subject believes that Krampus goes as far back as the Wiccan deity of the horn god of the witches. Another anthropologist, John, he wrote, Krampus derives from a pagan supernatural who was assimilated to the Christian devil. His appearance, I could see why. His appearance, he is said to be a towering 7-foot-tall, black-haired creature depicted as having bulging, bloodshot eyes, a whip-like red tongue, pointed ears, and huge horns curling atop his head, showing his goat side. The horns, however, make me think of a satyr. In Central European popular legend, he is said to be half goat and half demon. In other legends, he is half goat, half man. It is said that he carries chains strapped over his body and thrashes them for dramatic effect. The chains are sometimes accompanied by cowbells. In some myths, it is thought the chains symbolize the binding of the devil by the Christian church. He is said to also carry a pitchfork, or more traditionally, a bundle of birch switches, to swat the children as he travels through town on a pair of mismatched feet, one cloven hoof, the other a bear-like claw. The bundles may have had significance in the pre-Christian pagan initiation rites. Not really sure what initiation rites they could, but hey. The birch branches are replaced with a whip in some representation. Sometimes Krampus appears with a sack or a basket strapped to his back, which he uses to spirit the children away to his lair, or in some myths, hell, until they repent, or in other legends, they must stay 1 year. If we have any Grimm fans here, they actually did an episode where the Grimm met Krampus. And aside from the Grimm storyline, they did a really good representation of Krampus, in my opinion. If you have no clue what I'm talking about, Google Grimm the TV show. It's a really neat show. Or, I think so. Anywho, in the aftermath of the 1932 election in Austria, the Krampus tradition was prohibited by the Dollfuss regiment under the Fatherland's Front and the Christian Social Party. In 1950s, the government distributed pamphlets titled Krampus is an Evil Man. Towards the end of the century, a popular resurgence of Krampus celebrations occurred and continue until today. It's really tiring the church tried to hold everyone down. There are even festivals with Krampus, which I find really cool, and I really want to go to one. I think it would be fun. But then again, all the masks where people dress up might be a little freaky too. Anyway, for the festivals, the creatures dash through the streets chasing giggling children and adults alike, poking them with sticks and scaring some with the realization they were naughty this year. Have you been naughty this year? Anyway, there's an annual Krampus Parade, also known as a word I'm not going to try to pronounce. It's a resurgence, a century-old tradition. Young men in town dress up as a mythical creature and parade through the streets in an ancient pagan ritual meant to disperse winter's ghost. They march dressed in fur suits and carved wooden masks and carry cowbells. The tradition, also known as, again, can't pronounce this one, or Krampus Run, is having a resurgence throughout Austria, Germany, Slovenia, Hungary, and the Aztec Republic, and has gained recognition in the United States. If you Google Krampus events or parades, there is even one down in Florida in the States. While he's not the only Yuletide boogeyman in Western tradition, Krampus has clawed his way to the front of that frightening pack. Unlike Icelandic myths or France's myths, Krampus has not only survived within his native Germanic Alpine traditions, but he's also managed to achieve international notoriety, which I think is very lucky for us. Now, as I said about the movie, well, here's actually one I found cool. This is a picture of a postcard that they had sent out. It doesn't have the date, but it's vintage postcard image depicting Krampus are from the Book of the Devil in design. The Krampus postcard is by Monty Buchman. And then the movie, here is one of the photos from the movie Krampus. If any of y'all have seen it, feel free to comment and tell me your thoughts on it. But at the end of the day, I was reading that some parents would dress up in Krampus outfits and come visit their children to pretty much drive home the naughty or nice thing. But anyway, that's a little bit of information for you. Until next time, Thanks for watching, and remember to hit the like and subscribe button, and if you're really generous, hit the share button. Thanks, y'all. Until next time.